This is the Real Estate Fun Game Leasing and Property Management 2. Here are your instructions. For each question, the answer will appear. You provide the question, just like in that very famous TV game show. You'll get 3 seconds to come up with the answer. Keep track of right and wrong just so you can measure progress. Run this fun game as many times as it takes until you're ready for prime time. Are you ready? Question 1. Of assignment, mutual agreement, property destruction or condemnation, or breach of lease terms, the one that is not a method for terminating a lease. What is assignment, which is a way to transfer the existing lease? Question 2. This occurs when the original term of a lease is fulfilled. What is expiration? Question 3. If the terms of a lease are violated by a tenant, this happens to the lease. What is can be terminated? Question 4. This is the legal removal of a tenant from a leased property caused by a violation of the lease terms. What is actual eviction? Question 5. When a landlord allows or causes a situation to occur which makes it impossible for a tenant to enjoy the premises under the terms of a lease, it is this type of eviction. What is constructive? Question 6. The conditions for actual eviction are caused by this party. Who is the lessee? Question 7. The conditions for constructive eviction are caused by this party. Who is the landlord or lessor? Question 8. The death of either party to a lease for years or a periodic lease results in this. What is no effect on the lease? Question 9. The death of either party to a tenancy at will results in this. What is termination of the lease? Question 10. Along with a lease for years, this type of leasehold estate is not terminated by the death of either party. What is a periodic lease? Question 11. Along with a periodic lease, this type of lease is not terminated by the death of either party. What is a lease for years? Question 12. Along with a tenancy at will, this type of leasehold estate is terminated by the death of either party. What is a tenancy at sufferance? Question 13. The type of leasehold estate that is terminated by the death of either party include a tenancy at sufferance and this. What is a tenancy at will? Question 14. If a property is sold during a periodic lease, this is true about the new owner. What is bound by the lease? Question 15. If a tenant dies during a lease for years, this is true of the heirs of the deceased. What is bound by the lease? Question 16. Unless otherwise prohibited, it is possible to either assign a lease or do this. What is subletting? Question 17. This is the transfer of all rights that a tenant holds in a leased property. What is assignment? Question 18. When a leased property is assigned, this is the name for the new tenant. Who is the assignee? Question 19. When a leased property is assigned, the original tenant is called this. Who is the assignor? Question 20. When a leased property is assigned, this party has liability for the lease. Who is both the original and new tenant? Question 21. When a leased property is assigned, who has primary liability for the lease? Who is the assignee? Question 22. When leased property is assigned, this party has secondary liability for the lease. Who is the assignor? Question 23. The assignment of some of the rights and interests in leased property is called this. What is subletting? Question 24. When a leased property is sublet, the new tenant is called this. What is the sublessee? Question 25. Another name for the original tenant when a property is sublet. What is the sublessor? Question 26. This is who has liability for a lease when a leased property is sublet. Who is the sublessor only? Question 27. Property managers are usually this. What is a licensed real estate broker? Question 28. In Georgia, the property manager employed directly by the owner of the property to manage that owner's property is not required to be this. What is licensed? Question 29. Compensation for property managers is usually based on this. What is a percentage of the rent collected? That's it for Leasing and Property Management 2. Click on some of our other tests as a fun, fast way to learn your real estate terminology.